Hey, welcome back. This is John Delony, my good friend Anthony ONeal. We're saving the world, and if you watch the last video, we figured out quantum physics and stuff like that, and so we're on to the next thing, and that is this. We're talking about life after crazy. We've talked about what we found about ourselves that we didn't like, about being lonely. Here's the big question. What are you going to do right now to begin your new path forward? Everyone keeps talking about new normal, new normal. I don't even like new normal.
Yeah.
Like, we got to find some stuff out about ourselves, right?
Yeah. So when I think about the two main things that I really learned over this, which was my lack of patience and me being lonely, the very first thing is I'm really going to dive deep in creating a true community. So I have good friends, I have relatives and mentors outside of Nashville, but I just joined the local church here recently within the last 4 months. And so I'm really going to get involved in that community, establish a level of accountability with my spiritual pastor, and just also start joining some small groups and build true friendships, relationships, mentorships here locally in Nashville, which that will then even help me with my lack of patience, because if I'm surrounding myself with healthy individuals, they will hold me accountable to how I'm thinking and processing things, and teach me not really teach me, but hold me accountable when it comes to just really being patient, understanding, loving, and caring.
You just said something heavy, and you are an expert working with millennials and their parents.
Yeah.
We so often live our lives everywhere but where we actually are. So give me some tactics. Like, I know, okay, I'm gonna start going to small groups. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, are you gonna start calling people?
Yeah.
Like, are you gonna schedule, like, we will meet for happy hour this many times a week? Like, what is that gonna look like? I'm gonna babysit your kid. Like, what does that mean?
So one of the things I've actually started doing towards the end of our quarantine time was I actually called my pastor at least once a week.
Okay.
And actually had a real conversation.
Yep.
And opened up to him like he was my counselor, my therapist. And was like, hey, this is what's in my head. This is what's going on. And then I would shut up and allow him to talk into my life. Anthony, you're doing this wrong. You're thinking about this wrong. Hey, we need to actually pray about this situation. We need to pray about this thought. And
So
it's been refreshing.
So many people, myself included, we find ourselves lonely, and we look around and blame everybody else. They won't accept me. They don't like me. They told me that I look like this or I smell like that. You just said something important, that if we're going to have true community, we got to go first.
Yeah.
I got to take the risk of being vulnerable. Yeah. Your pastor could have clowned on you, been like, don't you work for Dave Ramsey? Don't you know how to... Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And it hurt too. I was like, whoa, what am I doing? But when I got over that hump, it was like, man, it was refreshing. I felt something get off of my shoulder and be like, yo, I needed that, because, we're personalities. People are coming to us all the time, asking us for advice, asking us for help. And I have family and friends on the outside, but now once we get out of this quarantine situation, we're going to skip a phone call. And when I'm in town, we're going to go get breakfast. We're going to get some FaceTime together to where we can just really talk as a man to a younger man and just get some wisdom. David
Kessler says, you can go through life with no pain. You can choose that. But that means you will have no relationships, you'll have no love, you'll have no community, and you'll probably die young and pretty sick.
I don't want that life.
So what you just said is the key, right? Is to be connected and not be lonely means you're gonna have to put yourself out there and be vulnerable. You're gonna have to be willing to risk someone saying, hey, I'll go to breakfast. I'm not going to breakfast. I'm not getting up. And you're having to feel that pain.
Yeah.
But that's worth it to be connected.
It is.
To be whole.
And you know what? I even say it here. I have never said this on my show. I like you. Doing this with my pastor is actually going to help me be prepared to be vulnerable with my future spouse.
There you go.
Because I went through an engagement and got out of it, and I've been scared to be vulnerable. And so now having this conversation with him, it's just been like, I can be vulnerable, and it's okay to be vulnerable because it just feels good. So I'm looking forward to that.
Normally I've got some fancy thing to say because we're in this together now, and you realize how smart and genius I am. I'm not going to say nothing after that. That was awesome. This is John Delony, my good friend Anthony ONeal. We'll be back with one more of these, and it's about to get really good. Clicks and subscribes, help him out. He needs a few more subscribers, so if you want to go to his show, tell him where you're at.
And man, they can go to YouTube / Anthony ONeal. I'm there. I don't need a lot. He needs a lot more, trust me.
See you soon. Take care.